Hello, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Something Big podcast. Today, I have a dear friend, Jas Oberoi. And for those of you who may not know him, I want to give you a brief introduction. Jas is someone who I really look up to. And the reason I do is the way he's built his team, the principles he stands on, and how he's growing his business. He is my go-to guy and my go-to realtor for commercial and residential real estate. I believe you've done over 200 million in volume last year. Yes. And, if you haven't seen him already, he has one of the best Instagram pages, a great team, and you really want to talk to him. So thank you, Jas, for coming in on this show.
Pleasure is mine, Raghav. Actually, you're the first one who is inviting me for some.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So thank you for that.
No,
I don't know why people don't call me for the podcast. I do a lot of my own podcasts, but nobody has invited me. So you're the first one who has invited me. So thank you for that.
No, my pleasure.
And giving me the opportunity to share your platform.
No, thank you. And I've been I think over the last 2 years, since I've been working on 7 or different projects, I've learned so much from your podcast, like your consistency. You talk about how important it is in today's day.
Yes.
So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just before we jump in, maybe do you want to give everyone an idea of, just your business right now, what you're doing, and then we'll start a bit more on your story?
Yeah, as you mentioned in the intro, like I'm a realtor. I'm a realtor with Remax, being in this business almost now, 7 years. This is my 7th year. I got my license in 2016.
Wow.
Before that, I was a chef. I was running a restaurant business, which was quite successful too. But I always had a passion to be into real estate, and I thought, okay, this is a nice way to enter into real estate, becoming a realtor and selling real estate, and then getting the insight of real estate, how people buy properties, flip properties, developments, and all that. So that's what it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. So I want to actually, because I know this is a cool story. So was restaurant line the first thing you did once you moved to Canada?
Yes. So my background back in India also was hospitality. I did the hotel management from Chandigarh, North India, and Punjab. If not, I don't know how many people know about the Punjab side, but yes, most of them know Punjab. Yeah. Most of the people are here from Punjab. So anyway, so coming to the point, I did the hospitality there, and then I moved to Canada in 2008 on a worker visa as a work permit. Work permit, I was I was having a bonded permit with a employer who sponsored me back from India. Somehow things didn't work out in first 10 days. Then I have to look for another job.
Within 10 days?
Within 10 days, because there's a law, I don't know whether it's still there. So if you are a bonded worker for an employer and the employer doesn't give you the job, you have 3 months to find a new employer. Otherwise, you go back to country.
Wow,
so
that must be pressure.
That was a pressure, and no money on top of it.
Yeah.
So, when you are in India, you're planning up when you get your visa, all those things, your dreams start coming up. Okay, now once I reach there, I'm going to do this. It all shattered because the day I landed, it was not the same how I thought it in the movies it is. Because on the movies, they will show you all those high-rise buildings, the SkyTrain running in the beautiful Vancouver, which is really beautiful. But when the ground reality is, when you don't have a money, you don't see the scenery. First thing is how to feed yourself. And that was my challenge, like how to feed myself. Because I didn't have a job. So my first job was, the hotel is closed now. It was in South Surrey, close to the border. This is called Pink Pacific Hotel, used to call it.
Okay.
So it's very close to the Peace Arch border. Dishwasher.
Yeah.
I
also started as a dishwasher.
Yes. So that was the ground reality for me. And because when I was in India, I was always telling my mother and my sister that it's fine. As long as I can get to Canada, I will do any work. Because I said, it's no problem. Sweeping, mopping, dishwashing, anything, I will do it. But when actually I have to do it, it was difficult. And I remember my first day on the shift, I was crying and washing dishes. Yeah. So, and my mom called me, and I couldn't talk. She said it, like, what are you doing? Because she didn't know that I lost my job. So the employer didn't hire me. And she said, what are you doing? I said, I couldn't talk. I started crying. And she said, just come back. You don't need to do this.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm not going to come back now. Yeah. I wanted to do this, and I will do it so that I can prove myself to and to you that I'm not a loser. I will hard fight, and the things started working then. Then I find a job in an Indian restaurant called Desi Junction. Yeah. I worked there as a server. Yeah. So they helped me a lot in my immigration. I worked there for almost good 2 to 3 years. In that process, they helped me to get my immigration status. So once I get my immigration, went back, got married with the girl I was dating, Aarti. So married her, came back, move to Kelowna.
Yeah.
I just wanted to explore different cultures.
Yeah.
I didn't want it just to be in a Surrey, so that I can go and see how the Canadian culture is and what other things are there. And the salary was
And
good
that
too.
is really true. That is really important.
Yeah, and that was a good learning for me. I was there for almost good 2 years. Then I said, okay, now it's time to go back to Surrey, because I knew if I am going to be in Surrey, I will be having more opportunities my way. And I always wanted to do work for myself. I didn't want to do a job.
Yeah.
It was a temporary plan until I have the finances, right?
Totally
Once
agree.
you start paying your bills, then you start thinking of, okay, what's the next step? One step at a time. First goal was to get the immigration, permanent residency. Once I got that, I said, let's explore it and go to outside the Surrey, outside my comfort zone. I didn't want it to be just in the Indian community. And that time in Kelowna, there was barely any Indians working. And I was working in a restaurant who was Indian, but other than me and in the kitchen staff, all the front staff was all white, Caucasian people, other communities, no Indian. So it helped me to learn their culture, how they work, what they think, how they do things.
Yeah.
It was a different, you have a perception of certain people, and it changed.
Yes.
I felt like they are somehow less or more same way we are. And I learned to learn the things what they're doing it, because I wanted to learn the Canadian culture, what the Canadian culture is all about. Not about what I have it back from India. Yes, my roots are from India, but I wanted to learn what Canadians thinks. Why did I come to Canada? Not just for money. I wanted to live like a good life and be a part of this country, so they don't feel like I'm an outsider.
But within those things, I see two things, and I think this is common with me as well. So I came here, my first job was washing dishes at a fish and chips restaurant. So I totally agree. But, you see so many people in different ages who come here, and within 1 or 2 years, they're like, no, I got to go back home, wherever country, or it's too tough. And I've seen when you don't even think of it as an option, that's when you succeed here, or that's when you settle. You don't have to have a backup option.
Oh, 100%. And completely agree with you. When you said that I didn't have any option.
Yeah, me too. I was like, now I have to make it.
I didn't have any option because, yes, it was my mom's emotional talk or a decision that come back.
Yeah.
But deep inside, she also didn't wanted me to come back because I had no option back in India going to be. Like, it was not that I was very well off in India. I was when my father was alive. Then we had a business crisis, the business collapse. I was very well off from the family. I've seen the downside of it. This was the golden opportunity for me to come to Canada, and I didn't want it to lose and go back and tell my relatives I'm a loser. I couldn't do it. So I said, okay, no, I'm going to fight it, not going to be giving excuses. I came here at the age of 28. So I said, okay, I'm not going to give an excuse of the age. Okay, now I wanted to get married, settle and all that. Or go back and say, I couldn't do it. No, I will do it, and I wanted to make sure that I do it. And the rest is history. So this country was being very kind.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So when you started in the hospitality industry, you went to Kelowna, then you came back to Surrey. So you always want to do your own business.
Correct.
So tell me the story of how you ended up opening your own restaurant.
Okay, that was an interesting story. So it was not planned.
Okay.
I just told my wife, let's go back to Surrey. I was making good money there. So like as a restaurant person, with the tips and all that, I was making close to $10,000, which was more than decent.
10,000 a month.
A month, yes.
Oh wow! And that back in 20.
Back in 2012.
Oh wow, that's good money.
So that was good money.
Yeah.
And there was not much expenses because this was a small town.
Yeah.
And to my wife, let's go back to Surrey.
Yeah.
She didn't agree with me first. She said, no, it's a risk. My employer, the boss I used to work for, he didn't agree. He said that you're making a blunder. You're going back to Surrey.
Yeah.
It's difficult to get a job. I didn't have a job in my hand.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Just
I said, no, let's
just
go.
Faith.
Yes, I'm going to go. Because what happened is when I moved, in the process, when I moved to Kelowna, I was in a big debt because I got married. My sister got married. I had to arrange all the finances. So that's the reason also I wanted to go to the small town so I can save money and pay off the debt. So the day I had $10,000 positive cash after paying off all the debt, I said, Artil, it's a time now, let's go back to Surrey. Okay. I wanted to explore because here, I know I'm earning good right now, but it's for the time period only. I don't see growth in myself. What big I would able to do here? He will promote me to as a manager to a general manager, from 10 to 15, maybe 15 to 20, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I will go back. So we came back.
So you were always really ambitious because 10,000 for a lot of people, they would be really comfortable. Back in 2011?
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah. So that was the mindset I always had it. Like I came to Canada for a purpose. Like I had it in my mind. I did that time I wasn't sharing my ideas because people would laugh at me. Like, okay, this guy is thinking of too much being ambitious. So you keep it to yourself. Don't tell what you wanted to do. Let your work show it. Like, there's a saying like how it says like, let your work make all the noise. You keep your mouth shut. Don't tell what you want to do or you want to say it. Okay, I will do you this, show you. Let your work talk, right? Then people won't say anything. They will shut their mouths. So coming back to the point where I said, okay, let's go back. We had a 1-car Honda Civic. Put all the clothes in there.
Yeah.
Sold
Did you
the
have kids
furniture.
that time?
No.
No kids. Yeah.
So that was another reason because I could take the risk.
Yeah.
I was married, but didn't have the kids. So came back, start hunting for the job.
Yeah.
I got a job in White Spot as a general manager. They gave me nice salary. There was a perks also, dental, clean, medical, all those, vacation paid, whatnot. They were offering me that. And it was a series of rounds through White Spot. I got the job finally. 2 days in the job, I come across to the opportunity. There's a restaurant getting sold in South Surrey. Yeah. So I said, okay, this is an opportunity. I wanted to go and buy it. No clue how this thing works. Went to the restaurant with the realtor. Didn't know at that time what the realtor is actually, what they do. So he showed me, and then I started talking in front of the owners also of the restaurant how much they want to sell it for. And he said 150. And I said, okay, will they sell it for 30,000? And he said, let's go outside. We don't talk here. We will talk later. And then he started laughing outside. He said, Paji, changa hoya, andar kotte nahi payegi sanu. You can't say this in front of an owner. I said, okay, but the sales are not there. The restaurant was almost closed. Like it was barely doing any sales.
It was buying the lease, essentially.
Buying the lease. There was an assets, like the equipment and all that. They were barely doing like $3,000 a month. So I said it to him. I said, listen, I don't have a money. If I had 150, I would have paid 150. I have only $30,000. And he was looking at me and saying that you're coming to this restaurant, booking an appointment, wasting my time, saying that I wanted to buy it and you don't have a money. So that irked me, okay, how am I going to buy this? I will buy this for sure.
So you decided you have to buy it.
I have to buy it. Then I went to my friend, Jatin, and there was another friend also, Gurdeep was his name, and we all three together chip in money, got banks, loans, credit lines, everything.
I think the bank said no, then you got personal lines or something.
Yes, that one's from RBC. So she gave me personal line of credit because we didn't know that about how this thing works, right? Now it's easy for us to do it because we are in this industry, we get it. But that time I didn't have any idea.
So you bought the rest of 150, but you
borrowed... No, I purchased it for 70,000. So we negotiated it and we ended up buying it for 70,000.
But you borrowed majority of the money, like all three of you?
Not majority, everything. My saving was $10,000, so I put $10,000. So everybody shared whatever the math was, 33,000 something. Everything was debt.
Wow.
No money for rent also, by the way. So when all those people, when they say it, when you're running the business, you
need
make sure you 6 months rent, this and all that. I don't buy that shit.
You have to go all in.
Yes, you have to go all in. As you said it in the beginning, when you don't have a backup plan, you will succeed. I had no backup plan. And my friend told me, one of my partners, he said it, what if we fail? I said, we are being in this industry since pretty much when I was 20. And at that age, I was about 30, 31. I started being in this industry for 12, 13 years now. If I won't able to run this restaurant successfully, we are anyways failing. So it doesn't matter if we fail this time or we're going to be failure anyways. So let's not get scared. Let's do it. And we didn't understand this lease side that they were taking a personal guarantee. There's no personal guarantee. We were living in a basement. Okay, so we have nothing for that. So anyhow, the landlord also was motivated to give it because he was looking at the other restaurant is going to be almost closed. So he said, okay, maybe there's a belief. And he trusted us too. I showed him, okay, I have this much of history, hotel management. He said that, okay, I see the hunger. I will trust you. So you know what happens is when you are willing to do something, your dots start joining. That was the thing. It started working for me.
You have a thought and things like everything comes to fall together.
He will. And he helped me too because landlords usually, they don't do. They said that what's your assets, how I'm going to recover my business. It's a business. But he agreed to give me the lease. And only thing I lied to him at that time, he said, do you have a rent for next month? I said, yes. I have it for 3 months. So don't worry. I lied to him. I didn't have a rent. It was $3,500 a month. So after that, in 1 month only, we took the sale from 3,000 to 12,000. So we could pay the rent. So we paid the rent. And then at that time, I didn't have the money to advertise it on radios.
So how were you increasing the sales?
So it was a funny story. There was Save on Foods. Actually, the restaurant we used to call Curry Sensation. We named it Curry Sensation. It was on 152 and 28th. Now it is called Doom. They have sold it multiple times after I've sold it. So there was a Save on Food in there. So I used to take the takeout menus. at the bottom of the takeout menu, there was a coupon. Come to the restaurant, like 10% discount. Discounts were there. So I was putting it on the windshields of every car was in the parket.
That's what you did.
Yes, I used to do it at 3 o'clock. So the restaurant break was 3 to 5. So I used to go there, put it. And the manager called me one day and he said that he saw me because I was doing every day. Because it was working. People were calling, people were coming to us. So I said, okay, this is working. I'm going to go there every day to bring the people in that we open up a restaurant. So he called me, he said that, you know that this is not allowed. It's a soliciting and you can't do this. It's illegal. At that time, I didn't even know what's the meaning of that. To be honest, like, okay, so I said, what the fuck is that? Okay, let me search it. So he said, I'll look into it. So basically, without the permission, I can't do that. Okay, I said, I get it. I went to the different plaza. I said, I'm not going to come here, but I will go to different plaza. The point is, like, don't change your plans. Okay, just keep doing it. Like, change the plans, but don't change the goal. So that was the goal, was it to get the flyers out there, get the word out there, let the people come in, because I have the confidence that once I give them this food, serve the food, my food quality is good enough, them to bring me, they keep coming. And that's how it worked. And then I was always ambitious. There was a unit next to me was empty. My restaurant started working very well. Finally, after 6 months, we will start paying ourselves for salaries. I didn't have the money also at that time when I opened up a restaurant to cook food in home. And it's no like bullshit. It is reality. Me and my wife coming to the restaurant, eating the breakfast there because there was already a grocery, everything. So we were eating the breakfast there only. And making sure before leaving, we eat the dinner because at home we were not bringing any grocery because I didn't have the money to
Every money went in the restaurant.
Everything was in there. And we were constantly just working every day.
Both of you worked there
Me and my wife, yes.
Every day?
Every day, 7 days. And my partner was there too.
Of course.
There was when people now see me, they don't understand that there was a journey behind it. It was so much of it. My wife, at one point of time when we opened up a restaurant, she was pregnant. She got pregnant. She got sick. Things didn't work out. She had a miscarriage. But I had to go the same day. She was alone, lying on the bed, crying, and I have to come to work.
How did you do that? Because like when an adversity comes, how do you keep a straight head and work?
Because I had no choice. Either I'll go home and sit next to her or work there so that my business doesn't stop. Because I had nothing else. Like, there's no choice. What will I do? Should I shut down my restaurant for 3 days and say to her, who will pay the lease then? The practical things were there. Who will pay the salaries of the server? I had it. Because if I won't go, the restaurant will shut down for 3 days. So that was the thing, that people don't understand the journey, the hard work people have done it in the past, how things have worked out. And I still remember she was crying and I have to leave her alone because it was a Friday night. And I said, okay, I don't have a choice. I have to go. And she understood too. And 2 days later, she was in the restaurant because I only had one server. She was the second server. So she came to the restaurant. And one of the customer asked her, oh, I didn't see you on last week. Where were you? And she started crying. She couldn't control her emotions. So she started crying. So those things have made me more stronger inside that, okay, I have been through those phases of my life. Anything now comes my way cannot stop me or say I will have the fear of not doing things. Like, that's what it is. Like, you go through the hardship when you have those hardships.
You're not scared to fail.
No, like, you don't have.
Anything
I have
happens,
nothing. I tell myself I will start it from scratch because I started from scratch. I always tell myself whenever I people think I'm taking risks. I feel like, okay, this is not a risk. The risk was when I took it actually 10, 12 years ago. That was a risk for me. Now it is just an investment I'm doing.
You know, this baffles me. Sometimes you see, like, we leave, like, a lot of immigrants, they leave everything and start scratch from Canada. Yes. But they'll be afraid to take a risk here. It's like you took the biggest risk by coming here, but now you're scared to take a risk. Like, that doesn't,
That's what it is, right? So that's what happened. So things started working. So then there was coming back to the point, there was a unit next to my business started going goal. Finally, we start paying salaries. Then I should purchase the unit next door. Not purchase, like release it out and break the wall and make my restaurant big. So we were doing around the sales about $60,000 a month, from 3,000 to 60,000 in 6-7 months.
That's really.
I said to the landlord, this unit is empty from last 1 year. Since I've seen it 6 months, I'm being here. Before that also it was empty. So why don't you give it to us on a discounted lease, and we'll take it over and we'll expand it. My partner and my wife were against it. Said finally we are able to, being our feet on the ground. I said, but you're not understanding there's a potential in my business. It has already grown to 60,000. If I don't take the next unit and someone else takes it, I will regret rest of my life that I didn't take it and I can't expand now. I have to stick to the $60,000, $50,000 only because there's not much sitting. How you can expand your business as you grow up. Either you move out to different location, or you build up multiple restaurants, or multiple restaurants you need a staff, management, everything, more over cost, and the risk of changing the location. I'll do this now. You have to be proactive, not to be thinking, oh, no, it's too much. Don't go by those books. People, they want you to be feared of everything because they don't want you to be like them. Who write the books? People who are successful, right? They don't want us to be successful because if everybody is successful, who will give them the respect that what they earning it? They wanted to make it okay. Things difficult for them. In the school also, like, I'm not a high qualified person. I'm not happy with that. Is because otherwise, if I was a, say, engineer, not against anybody, then I would be a bookworm. Always reading the book. Yeah. What my book have told me. Yeah. I will be going by that. Yeah. So we took the loan again. Very difficult. Landlord also lent me some money.
Oh, wow. And to get the second, he lent you money.
Yeah, he lent me the money to renovate it because he saw the potential already. Yeah. So I had the confidence that I can bring the sale double, 120, once I built it. So 3 months, my whole business was shut down again. Well, there was a construction going on. And
so you shut down the full business for 3 months?
Yeah, I had to because of when the wall was demolished. So it has to be expanded, the dust and all so the city and the Fraser Hall didn't allow that I can run the restaurant. So we shut down. Again, came to the same story that not having much money, put everything in there, whatever I saved it. But after that, I didn't look back. The restaurant was really very good. 2012, I purchased it. Yeah. 2016, I was making 6 figures, 120, 150 annually. Then I said, this is not enough because I'm again in the point where I can't grow. Yeah. I have to grow. What should I do? I was talking to my buddy and he said that, why don't we become truck drivers? They make more money. We have heard it, like how we, boys talk. Okay, I heard it. They make good money. So why don't we go? I said that at the age of 31, 32, people retire from trucking business. That's not a good idea. Go on that. Yeah. How long I will able to drive it? Maybe 2-3 years after that, I have to retire and do something else. Why not I do real estate?
So you just randomly said, why not?
Yeah, I said, why don't I do a real estate? And so at that point also that people who were close to me, friends, they said it's not possible for you. You never done a sale in your life. You will not able to do it. It's very difficult.
But what made you want to do it?
That's all because they said no to me. I said, okay, I'll prove it. I will do it. Okay. Yeah, and that's what. And after becoming a realtor, also I was trying to join. I've given interview in multiple teams. I'm gonna take the name of those top realtors. Sorry, everybody rejected. Yeah.
I'll ask you something here. So I've seen in 2-3 things when you've shared, when people say something you shouldn't do or no, you automatically want to do it, or you have that conviction to do it.
Yes.
Where does that come from? Because most people don't have the confidence.
Give me inner motivation. Like I already having a plan. And when you say that, not in a they are good well-wishers too. Yeah. And you can tell them, sometimes okay, they are well-wishers. Yes. I will say to you, Raghav, I'm thinking of this plan. And you give me a logical think about it. Okay, just this is not going to work. These are my logics about behind it. And I know you are my well-wisher. Then I will listen to you. I will pay attention to you. If you just coming and telling me, brushing off without even listening to my business plan, I know that this is not about my business. It's about the personal thing that he did. You don't want me to do it, right? So I said, okay, this is giving me another motivation. Okay, I will prove that, okay, that I can do it. And I will do it. No matter what, I will do it now. To prove, I know it's not good in a way. It's kind of an ego, you can say it. I have it. I will prove it. I have an inner ego, which is quite big. Okay, I'll prove myself. And I keep telling myself also, like how I'm going to improve more, how I can do better. My team says, my marketing team says we are doing well. I said, I know. I want to do better. Yeah, because there's more people out there who are much higher than me. And I wanted to be like them. So that's what it is. It's just your nature, you can say. It is in my blood. My mom was like this. She always motivated me, and I said, okay, I'll do it. Yeah. She always tell me, if you think about something, just do it. Yeah. If your gut says it, you can do it. Don't listen to anybody else. Because you will always regret otherwise. Yeah. Like there's so many people out there, they wanted to do so many things and they're not doing it because they're scared of it, or their parents are telling it, or their friends are telling it.
They think it's not possible.
Yes. Or anybody. Don't listen to that. Yeah. If you have that, just do it. Yeah. Worst case, you're going to fail because you won't have a regret in the life. I don't have any regrets. I have seen hardships in my life very much. My dad passed away. My mom passed away. I had so many things in my life. I've seen it. But I don't have any regret in my life in terms of like, I should have done that or I should have done this. No, because I've done it. I've done whatever I could do it. I have failed in a lot of things too. It's not all those things worked in my plan. I have done blunders in my life too.
Tell me about some of your failures and things you failed.
So anything I was trying it before,
Yeah.
like before coming to Canada, was failing in my life.
Mm.
I was a chef, and me and my buddies decided, let's go to Australia. I said, okay. We went to the immigration consultant office. We applied together. His immigration came in after 1 year. And even after being into Australia, like it was almost 2 years, he being in Australia, my medical didn't come even.
Wow.
And I was so much frustrated and depressed that, okay, what is happening? And I was working in a hotel, and a gentleman came to in a lobby. He used to stay in our hotel regularly. So he was casually asking, do you know any server? I wanted some servers in the Canada. They needed it. And I was a manager there, so a chef. I said, I will go. And he said, oh, you're like a manager here. How are you going to do it? Because it was a 5-star hotel. I was working there as a manager. So there was about 100 employees working under me. I said, fuck it, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I will do.
Yeah.
As a server, I will do it.
Yeah.
I'll go there.
Yeah.
So that was a point. So I came to Canada, but my Australia immigration still didn't come.
Wow.
Then finally, out of frustration, because I had that time, I said, okay, I'm in Canada now. I wrote a long email to immigration of Australia, which a normal person would never do it. I put it in there that you have spoiled my life. It's been 4 years. Normal process is 1 year. Every time I send you an email, you say it's in process. Either give me an answer, yes or no. Otherwise, just give me an answer. I'm not able to do anything. Right now I'm in Canada.
Because you're in the gray. You can go here, you can't go there. Yeah.
And that I did it because of the frustration, or you could see it like I see it. Okay, I'm already in Canada now.
Yeah.
If I'm back in India, I would have never done that.
Yeah. But you want an answer. You don't want to be in the
and
middle.
magically in less than a week, I got my immigration.
You got your immigration.
Yes, I got my immigration. That's another story.
And that point, you were having problems with Canada immigration too.
Yes, 2008.
And you didn't take it then.
No. So 2008, I was on a worker visa.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the failures, I was working in a restaurant and I got my Australian immigration. Yeah. I thought, okay, I'm going to work in Canada, get my immigration here, and then I will see which country I want to go. Yeah. But then I lost my job because the recession came in.
Yeah.
So I lost my job in a restaurant, same Desi Junction. They said, we don't have a job. They closed one of the locations. The business was slow. So long story short, I was jobless. And that time it was the year there was too much of a snowfall also. There was a record-breaking snowfall. Didn't have the money to feed myself. We used to cook. Me and my buddy used to live in the basement together, and he was in a construction business. His business was also slow. So we used to cook rice every morning. I eat the whole rice, just a rice, no
plain rice.
Plain rice, boiled rice.
Yeah.
For the whole day, like 3 times in a day, because that was the cheapest we could go. And the snowfall was too much outside. The buses were shut down. We couldn't go to the Gurdwara to eat. So that's the only choice we had. The rice was there. So those hardships were there. So then I thought, okay, I'm going to go to Australia.
At that time, what was your mindset like in dealing with adversity? Were you always
it
like,
was difficult.
I'll get out of this. Did you have that
I was
faith?
saying that, yeah. And all those hardships also, I never had that kind of a point where in my life it was, like I won't say the low points. There was low points, but something inside I was not frustrated through my journey that why things are not working for me. Because I always had the belief in me that I will overcome with this. And my mom was a big reason for that, because I was constantly used to talk every day to my mom for 1 hour. Everything I was sharing it with her. What I'm going through, and she was keep motivating it, you will get over with this. You will get over with this. That was a big motivation for me, that, okay, she was pushing me. And she was not stopping me as a mother. Sometimes, they feel emotional or they were possessive for the kid to be going through the hardship. No, she used to push me. Let's go. Only time she break down was the time when I landed to Canada and then couldn't talk barely a word coming out of my mouth, and I was just crying. Yeah. At that time she said, okay, come back. Yeah. You don't need to go through this. Otherwise, she was always encouraging me.
Yeah, you're lucky.
So I went to Australia, by the way.
So sorry, this is the time when the recession hit, you lost your job?
Lost my job. Australian immigration came in.
Yeah.
So I said, why don't I go to Australia then? Yeah. I'm not going to stay here. I'm on a worker visa. I again have to find new job. The jobs were very difficult to get at.
So this is now 2008 or 9?
2008.
Okay.
Same year. Same year. So 6 months I was in Canada. So I took a one-way ticket to Australia. Thought never going to come back to Canada. Went there. Having an immigration of that country, PR, versus work permit. I saw most of the people at that time, 2008, our generation, like Indian community, were doing labor jobs. Car wash, cabs, working at the gas stations. Salary, by the way, that time was really high that time. And all my friends over there, they supported me a lot. I stayed with my friends. I didn't, again, have that much money to spend on there. So they were helping me a lot. I stayed in one of my friends in Melbourne. Then I went to Adelaide, explored Sydney. Where should I settle? And all I would see it, there was no businessman people around me. Whereas in Canada, I saw a lot of people own businesses. There were MPs, there were MLAs in Indian, Punjabis, like I could see it, restaurant owners, bank employees. At that time in Australia, none of them were the Indians were doing that. Maybe very briefly, but not majority of them were doing the labor jobs. So I decided I wanted to go back. So things also start working for you. Magically, my owner in Canada, he called me and he said, our business has started picking up. This was like 2 months only. So I still remember 2008 in December, I took a flight to Australia one way. December 31st was the New Year Eve. I took a flight. And 1st January 2009, I landed in Australia. By 24th or 25th of January, he calls me. And things were, I didn't want to do a job. I wanted to do something, potentials of exploring. He said that, do you want to come back? And the only thing I said to him that, you have to promise me you're not going to fire me now if I come back. I wanted an immigration. And I will work, whatever you say to me, I will do it for next 2 years. But you have to help me for my application for Canadian permanent residency. He said, okay, done, come. So I told my friends I'm going, and they said that you're doing a blunder of your life. You're having a permanent residency here. Why you wanted to go there? I said, you're not seeing the potential there. There's the people who do businesses. Here, I don't see people doing businesses. And for me to do a business, it's going to take me years and years. And I'm already 29. I don't want to take this much time. I don't have that much time. And they were saying, at that time in Australia, the minimum wage was 18. And in Canada, it was 8. And normal average person was getting 20, 21. Even for the car washes, you were getting 21. And they were comparing that. I said, that's not my goal here, to come to this country. It's $10, it's not more, making more. Yes, for the time period, maybe. But the eventual goal is to go back. So came back and never went back to Australia. So I have to give up because after 6 months, it expires if you don't go. So it expired and never went back to Australia.
So funny story on that. Like I'm such a big believer of this. Sometimes life has a plan and you can do nothing to fight it.
Yes.
So around the same time, 2009 or 10, I was finishing school. My whole family got a permanent residence to Australia.
Okay.
So we went there. We went to Adelaide.
Okay.
I stayed there for a few weeks. Then came back. Dad was there. Different.
You remember
things.
the street? I used to live in Bowden Street.
I don't know.
Okay.
I was like,
I remember it. Oh, you were quite young.
Yeah, but we got a PR. Like we were still in the and we just couldn't move there. Like one thing happened, something else happened, and then years ago, eventually ended up in Canada, and that also because of problems, different things. But just sometimes you can't. And exact same Australia.
Yeah.
We went to Adelaide. We went to Sydney.
So that was one of the failures I'm telling you. Like the failure was at losing a job, going to Australia, spending all the ticket and everything, one-way ticket, coming back because things didn't work for me, even though I was a permanent resident there. The odds were favoring me that, everything is should work for me in Australia, but it didn't. Opposite to that, when I came back to Canada, everything started working for me. So that was the thing. And before that, also back in India, I have so many failures in my life. I was trying to do so many things and didn't work out anything for me. So it's difficult, right? But that makes you a person what you are now. Like I feel like, I've been through so many failures. I'm not having a fear of being
because
failure.
I think one of the biggest strengths we develop is the ability to take risk and the ability to start from zero. Because it's like, okay, you know what? If I lose this, I'll start again. And that faith or that belief gives you so much confidence. I'm okay with the risks.
Yes, that's what it is, right? Yeah. So you overcome both those things.
So now fast forward, you're now a realtor.
Yes.
Now tell me, like, your first few deals. How did you get your first 1, 2, or 3 clients? What was the story like?
So, become a realtor, went to top producers.
Yeah.
Called the majority of the top producers.
Yeah. And they said no.
They said no
Why?
to me. I don't know. Okay. Maybe some of them said it to me on my face that you are not a real estate material. That literally one of the person I was constantly following up because I was really wanted to work with him. Not going to take his name.
No, that's
okay. And he said when finally, because he interviewed me and finally after chasing him for a month or so, he said, sorry, Jas, I know you're quite persistent with the follow-up, but I don't think so. You're going to be a good realtor. I don't see that in you. And that obviously discouraged me too because I was new realtor and hearing this from that person.
A senior person.
Yeah. But for a day, maybe you feel down, you feel low. And next day I charged up again. Okay, I'm going to do it.
I got to do this.
I'm going to do it. And I got rejections from a lot of realtors. Not only 1%. But the good thing is a couple of years ago, the same realtor, he has his own brokerage now. So he walked to me in my office and said that I wanted you to be in my brokerage. I said, no, I can't. I cannot leave Remax. He said, what it will take me to bring you to my brokerage.
Yeah.
I said, nothing, bro.
You had a chance.
Yes. But I reminded him. I said, I don't know whether you remember or not. And he didn't.
Yeah.
He said, oh, did I?
Yeah.
Say, yeah. I said, yes. You said no to me that you are not a real estate material. Like, you can't do real estate.
But you know what? I'm sure the person might be one of the nicest guys. Sometimes things happen in a way to motivate us. Like, I generally, every time I get to know, it's nothing against the person.
No.
But life, like, everything was working to give me that thing that now I'm gonna be.
There's so many people who wanted to work with me, and I have told them, no, I don't think so. You will able to do good in real estate, and they may have done better in their life than what I've predicted it, because nobody knows it. Like, what is going through your inside, or that one thing can change your whole life. And I wanted to do good in real estate, and I had the confidence in myself that I will do it. Yes, I was feeling low with the rejections. My deals were not going through. I was desperate to do the deals. Didn't have much. Again, I told my partner that, okay, listen, I have a family now. I had 2 kids when I become a realtor. I said, you have to help me. I'm not in a position where I can't take anything from my business, restaurant business, but I will not come there for 1 year. And he agreed to that. Wow. So I was taking a constantly salary from there, which helped me in a way that I was not
covering
my mortgage. I didn't have a house that time. I was renting it. Basically, rents and my other expenses could cover it, but not worried about where the next bill I'm going to pay from. So that was the thing. I used to sit not trying to be dramatic here, but I was sitting used to sit and then when I see these new realtors, when they come to me and they make excuses because they couldn't do the deal, I tell them that I was in a garage sitting on there was a pop cylinder because there was a small room, storage room, not a garage, it's a storage room next to my restaurant. So I used to sit there, no heating, nothing. I purchased a small heater from the Walmart, put it under the table for the heat, had a phone and a pop cylinder, put up a towel up top. Not that I can't afford the chair. I was too much, my focus was getting the clients, not on the luxury things or the things which will make me comfortable. I don't care about where I was. So sitting on the pop and calling people. Just calling them I was watching YouTube videos, and that time also I say, now it's very clear, in 2023, if someone comes to me and say that I don't know how to do this, he's a stupid. There's so much information on internet for free, as long as you have the will to learn that. Don't tell me this, you don't know how to do it, or what are the cold calling scripts, or what are the door knocking scripts. Just Google it. There's hundreds of that.
So how did you get your first client though?
Just from the calls.
Cold call?
Cold calling.
Like friends, or was this a
No,
random
cold
number?
calling. By the way, no friend purchased anything from me.
Yeah.
Until I started doing good in my real estate.
But cold calling, like you just got a random database and called people. Wow.
Random database, there's a tele listing. It's a website. You get a cold calling numbers. Calling. People have yelled at me. They have said so many things, but it was my concentration was, or focus was only on that what I'm getting one client. One client, getting it out of it, one at a time. And by the way, I didn't have another car, so I was only having one car that time. And I have 2 kids, so my wife has to take them to the doctors. They were quite young. My daughter was only 6-7 months old.
Oh, wow.
And my son was about 1.5 years or 2 years. Okay. So I borrowed a car from my friend. So when the people said that should we buy a luxury car? No, you don't need a luxury car. I borrowed a Honda Civic from my friend, and I drove that for 6 months. Then I purchased BMW. Because nothing can stop you if you wanted to do it. This is all gimmick, like how the lifestyle of the real estate is. It is all gimmick that only if you drive a fancy car, wear a fancy watch, dress up nicely. Yes, you have to be professionally dressed up, not wearing a sweatshirt, but you don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on the clothes to get the business. You just go out there, talk to the people, and if they will connect with you, they will do business with you. So I got the first client, then second, then third, and after that, honestly, things working, and the confidence came into you.
So the first year, do you remember how many deals you did roughly?
Yes, 36. I remember deals. Exactly. Wow. I remember till date, every year, how much revenue I made it, every gross commission I made it. Because I'm very much focused on, how much I'm making it. And what are my expenses going to?
Can I ask you, in the first year, what did those numbers look like?
So I become a realtor in July 2016. So that year till December, I made $80,000 as a gross commission in 6 months. The next whole year, I made $250,000.
Wow.
Third year, I made $500,000. Then I made $1 million. So it was continuing it. After that, I never stopped. I at least making since 2019 more than $1 million.
So now I've seen this with a lot of realtors who do well. They continue doing well just by themselves. But with you, it's been different. Not only do you have a team, the team gets promoted more than you often, which is great. Like you're building them up. It's not it's not always Jas Oberoi is the guy I need to talk to.
Yeah.
It's about that's his team. I can talk to whether it's Mariam, Neet, or so on and so forth.
Yes.
Which is a really good quality. Not a lot of realtors have that. What was the point which made you start a team? Like when did you start your building your own team?
So back in 2019, I was thinking, okay, how to cross the hurdle. I have seen people, realtors making 7 figures consistently. And I was solo agent, no assistant, nobody. And
No assistant?
No.
And you were making 7 figures?
7 figures. Like first time I made it 7 figures. I said, how I can do it consistently. 2017 I made it, but I was feeling burnt out. Right? I said, how am I going to go more than this now?
Actually, sorry, I'll just cut back. The first year you made 7 figures. What was your year like, or what was your day like? Like what was your work ethic like?
Actually, I was more, I would say that more disciplined towards my work at that time than now.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
Yes.
that happens.
Okay. I was more, even those days I have a schedule going every day, Monday to Friday for door knocking.
Even when you were doing so well, you were doing door knocking?
No assistant. So the paperwork, I used to do it in the night. At night. My old brokerage where I used to work, Remax Blueprint, they know it. I was a solo agent. And in 2019, I become a #1 agent of my whole office.
So just so I understand, because I see so many people who have never knocked doors.
Yes.
But even when you were making 7 figures, you were on that path, knocking doors throughout, doing cold calls. You were doing all of that.
How will I get the business? Your database was not that big because I was in a business only in 3 years. So all my past clients, not every year they were buying it. Point was it like, okay, keep getting new clients, keep bringing new clients. Yes, my previous clients were helping me too. They were giving me the referrals. Slowly it builds up. I was not liking door knocking. I didn't like it. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes cold calling. But you have to do it if you want it to be like someone. I tell my team also, like, this took me 7 years. You may be a great realtor, but at least it will take you 3 years to be where I am. You cannot be here overnight. And at least do that consistently 3 years. Don't give it up in 6 months. Don't give it up in 1 year. Don't give it up when you get one client. Because you get one client and then you say that, oh, I got busy now. I got distracted with other things. There's so many things I have to do it. I have to do the paperwork. What paperwork? It's only 10 pages. Come on, be real. The amount of money we get it's nothing. It's nothing to do 10 paper. It will take you 50 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes. The more you do the paperwork, slowly it will take you only 15 minutes to do all that paperwork, and you can easily do it at the night. I used to do it at night. People who know me from my past, like people, my friends, they know it. I'm not bullshitting it on the camera. I didn't have an assistant. My first assistant, I hired it as in 2019. I hired it in the middle of the year. I fired her after 2 months because she was not up to my mark. Actually, this whole social media thing came to me. I was looking into it, like this is the new trend. I knew it, that otherwise I have to catch up to this. And I was very camera conscious. I didn't like to come to the camera at all. And I said, okay, if I don't do this, I will be left behind. People will take over. So I have to do this. And also there was a reason also was this Raghav, like I'm very conscious about my brand because I always felt like when I came to from India, you may have faced it too. Like if you're not born in Canada, you're not treated the same way as an Indian coming from me. They brush you off completely. And who am I talking about? It's an unfortunate part of us. They will treat you like you don't have standards, you don't have an ethics. Certain people will do it, not all of them, but there are certain people, and I've come across with them, and they will just completely brush you. Especially when I become a realtor, I've seen those people. Because earlier I was in my own comfort zone, own friend circle, everything. I was not meeting strangers many. But now I was meeting strangers, and then how they were talking about they don't. So I said, okay, no, we can do it too. If not better, at least what you guys are doing it. Just because I don't have a Canadian accent doesn't mean that I can't do it. Language is just a language. Yes, it's not my first language, and I'm not ashamed of it. That is not my first language, but I will improve it. At least I will improve it to the level where I can at least communicate in English. Yes, that I wanted it to do it. But I'm not going to change my accent. Not that I can't talk in Canadian accent. But people will figure it out. It's fake. Why I have to fake it? Why I'm ashamed of where I came from? No, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of where I am. And I tell this to all the immigrants also, people coming from India, don't try to be someone else.
Yeah, that's so true.
Don't try to be doing something just because to look cool or you feel like you are going to be among themselves. They will respect you more if you are not losing your own original part of yours, where you are from. the accent is not going to make you superior.
Mm.
How does it matter?
Fitting in is
Yes.
not the goal.
Yes. Have you seen the Asian people, Chinese people changing their accent? Have you seen Italian people changing their accent? No other community changes it. Why we Indians try to, as an immigrant, try to come to this country and change the accent? How does it matter? There's nothing. Accent is, I'm here.
Yeah.
I've done this all achievement without changing my accent.
Yep.
I'm not going to change my accent.
Yep.
So this is what I tell the people. The people when they used to call us dippers. Yes, I am a dipper and I'm proud to be. Because if a dipper can be here, you fucking have to work 10 times harder than us. Because you're born in this country and you have all the privileges, we did have it. And we came here, we push you away, and we taken your spot. If you have the guts, push us. We are here for permanent. We are going to be here permanently. We are not going anywhere. Trust me, there's so many immigrants out there. I said that to the students who come here. A lot of radio shows used to be saying it. They have been crowded here, too many students. It's such a small community of it. People who are doing it. Those students are working hard.
Yeah.
They're paying their loans.
I came as a student, and it's
restaurant industry will collapse tomorrow if the students go back.
Yeah.
Construction industry will go. I've been in both the industries. Now I'm working in construction industry. Half of the construction industry, if not more, is run by the students. Restaurant industry completely runs by the students. This government, the Canadian government, makes billions of dollars, and they should give the due credit to those students who are bringing that money here. As a Canadian, my kid will get a scholarship. My kid will get all the best things. Not even half the fees they pay.
It's almost 1/5.
And that too, they get the loan.
Yeah.
They don't even pay it. They get the loan from the government, subsidies from the government. And those kids who are paying it full, we don't give them the respect. Yes, there is certain things which they should not do it. But everybody makes mistakes. And once the age grows up, they will change. And there are certain students, they should learn from other people how the other kids are doing it well. You cannot just brush off every student saying that, oh, these students are here, they are too much crowded, overcrowded. There are only small bunch of people who are doing this. The whole students are not doing it, right? That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then, now you're at the stage where you're like, okay, I got to do social media because this is like, it is a need of the future. So that's when you started building a team?
Yes.
Okay.
So 2020 when the COVID hit it.
Yeah.
And
so before COVID, you didn't have a team?
no.
Okay.
When everybody said it is going to collapse,
Yeah.
I hired Claudia
Yeah.
in March 2020.
She was your first team member?
She was my first. I still remember the dates also exactly because it was so close to it. I hired her 1st or 2nd of the March.
Yeah.
Lockdown happened 17th.
Yeah.
So she went home.
Yeah.
I called her after a week. I said, Claudia, do you want to work
Yeah.
or you wanted to be on the serve?
Yeah.
She said, no, I wanted to work.
Yeah.
I said, you're okay if you and me only coming to the office because nobody else would. And I'm okay. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm not having any symptoms. Will you come?
Yeah.
So she came. She said she agreed to it.
Wow.
So she and me used to sit there, make a plan,
Yeah.
a blueprint, because that time no business was happening. At least for 2-3 months, everything was locked down. So we making a plan, and I was sharing my ideas. This is what I wanted to do it,
Yeah.
and you have to help me to do it. Like social media, constantly keep doing it, not 1 day, 2 days, constantly keep doing it. And rest is history. Till from that day to here, and then I realized, okay, what next I have to do is hire the team. I hired Inder, was the first person coming into my team. Then Amneet came in. Then 2 other people came in. Then they left. Then Maria came in. Maria was my assistant. And then she became a realtor. Gary came into my team. He's my childhood friend. Back from India, we were in the school together.
Nice.
We used to study, so he's there.
Yeah.
Now we have Manpreet also. This new girl came in. I'm going to hire more realtors. I was waiting for my office to open.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it. I don't want it to do something half-hearted or not planned. I'm a very planned person. I'm organized. I wanted to get the things done.
You want to go all in. Yeah.
All some way, my team, like people who work with me, my team, they call me like very difficult to work with it because I am a very difficult person to work with. Trust me. Raghav, maybe I've come across very easygoing guy. I'm not. When it comes to the business, I'm very much like, for example, if the phone is placed like this, I wanted it to be placed like this. You can place it like this too. No. It has to be like this. Otherwise, it bothers me. No, keep it like this.
That's a funny thing in my office. Like in 99% of the things, I don't care. But when it comes to work, if a line does not have a comma at the same place, it'll drive me crazy. I'm like, why is it not there? Why is the dollar sign not? Like, I'll be after everyone.
My English is not that good to figure out where the comma should be or where
but
the dollar sign is.
dollar.
Like, I'm trying to say, like, okay, for that I have the people there. And this is also, you can't be a best in everything.
No, absolutely.
So I learned it and is what are my weaknesses?
Yes.
Social media, because I didn't know about TikTok, Instagram. Who knows it? Youth knows it. Young people know it. Hire young people. Second problem was English. My grammar is not going to be as good as the Canadians. So who know better? Canadians. Hire them.
Mm.
Hire people who are better in what things. And that was the reason I hired
And the thing
Claudia.
is,
Like, okay, hire her because she will be, yes, I would be paying her a little extra, but it's fine. She will improve my English.
Yeah. But just that's the one thing I've seen is you just have a willingness to accept things you're not good at and focus on the things you're really good at, which helps
Yes.
you grow.
No, but I have seen this because from other people have done it. And they have said it, this is all on YouTube, what I'm saying it.
Yeah.
And they said, you can't be good at everything.
Absolutely.
Just focus on what you're good at. I'm good at in my real estate and building relations with the people. Now my core of my business is the relationship I have built it. No, knock on the wood, no matter how the market is, my business has not slowed down. I'm constantly on that same growth.
Because of the relationships.
Because of the relationship, people will always buy real estate. They will always sell real estate. The goal of the real estate can change, like, okay, now I want to do investment, or I wanted to buy business, or I wanted to buy my home. But the real estate is always involved. So till the time the real estate is involved, we are getting paid. And your focus should not be how much money you are making it. The focus should be how much money I'm going to be making it for Raghav. If I will make Raghav good money, he will always be mine.
Absolutely.
No matter how many presentations I do it, this is my social media, this is my brochures, how I do 3D. And all this is excuse my language, is a bullshit. When people talk about realtors, we do 4K. Who doesn't do 4K nowadays? It is 4K. All the video qualities are going to be 4K. And I'll tell my clients also, price will sell everything. It will sell. If you price it right, it will sell. You hire me or someone else, yes,
Price
it will
is
sell.
everything.
Price is the first factor for real estate.
Yeah.
If you have a good price, there's always a buyer for every property if it is priced right. It's not the slow market or busy market.
So just on a different note then, like whether it's someone like me, because I think that might work out. If you had to mentor me on business, just in general business, whether it's mortgage, real estate, doesn't matter. And, I'm in a stage where I've started business or I'm maybe looking to start. Like just regardless of what we're doing, what advice would you give me?
First advice would be what I have done it in my life. Observe people who are successful. Do what they're doing. Not just look at that and think of, I will do it. No, do it. If you see my previous videos in 2016, 2017, I, by the way, started making videos in those days. People get to notice only then. I was quite bulky. Double the size I was having it. Then I see the people who are successful.
Yeah.
They are not sweating. They are not climbing just 10 steps and huffing and puffing out of the breath. They are fit.
Yeah.
So how they're fit, they're going to gym. They're eating healthy diet. That's what I started doing it. I'm now having a challenge in my life. I wake up at 6:30. I'm trying to wake up at 4. But I'm not able to do it. Somebody texted me a few days ago that you should wake up at 4:30. Since then, it's kind of back in my mind. I have to do it. I'm trying to do it. I may will do it pretty soon, but I will do this. So I'm trying to improve myself. So it comes back to you that you have to improve. You have to look into it. First is your health. Then the business has to be consistent. Don't give up. As I said it for the realtors, don't give up in first 3 months if things are not working. Like whatever you're doing, you're having such a nice now name of the podcast. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't think of after 10 clips or 10 podcasts, you will get a call from someone. No. Keep doing it. So you have to consistent with it. And I'm keep doing it myself too. Like I'm trying to improve myself. I'm doing it. And I wanted to do it better way. And that's what it is. You just don't give up on whatever you're doing. Results will come. It may take 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, you don't know. But if you're consistent with someone, and there's two type of people too also, by the way, and this is for the youth out there too, for the TikToks and the Instagrams, reels. You may not get many likes on your reels or views on your reels, but people will still notice you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you go on my social media, I don't have much of the likes and comments in there. But if I walk into a public place or a private event, wherever we are going, people recognize me.
That's the biggest thing.
That's what I wanted it. I don't wanted those comments coming in there or likes coming in there. But when you walk into the hall, you don't need to introduce yourself. That's what you want. And it's the best feeling in there.
This is a funny story. Like I was actually frustrated. We were trying so many things in marketing when we started 7. And I was like, Facebook is a waste of money for ads. They don't get return. Like I'm looking at everything. And I'm like, social media, I'm doing it, but it's not getting me exact results. I'm not having it. And then a few days later or something, I walk out of the office. There's a different realtor who I don't know. Like I didn't even know who that person was. She's like, oh yeah, I recognize you from Instagram. I was like, huh. And then this just happened at so many places. I was like, well, yeah, I know.
And that's the best one. My views, you will see it on my YouTube videos. It's barely nothing, like not even 100 some of the videos. But I've got few clients who have told me that watching your videos on YouTube. So that's what you wanted. Do you want likes and comments, or do you wanted the real people recognizing you? Like this is, it's so much of view thing is too much bigger than like what actually it's supposed to be. You're paying too much attention to the views.
Yeah.
People should notice you because a lot of people won't comment in there because everybody else is seeing it. Or they try to observe you first because there's a connection in there.
Absolutely.
Social media builds a connection, and see, some way my team also helped me in ways because I was also having some stereotype mentality. Okay, it's only business, always serious.
Yeah.
And behind the cameras, I'm very jolly. Like I laugh, I crack jokes on my teams too, and they crack on me.
Yeah.
And they said you have to come across on the camera also. Then I somehow I get conscious, and I'm trying to work on it. Okay, no, I have to be free myself, and the way I am in real life to be like that.
So I've seen this in your team. Your team has fun together.
Yes.
They're actually good friends.
Yes.
Which I haven't seen in a lot of teams. Is that something which just happened, or did you actively work to make sure the team gets together and you're having fun?
It happened. You can say it. It happened in the with like I'm a good listener, and this is why I hired these people. Why I hired the people who are better in different aspects than me. So if I have them, I have to listen to them. So when I hired Amneet, I asked her, okay, what are the things you feel like I should do it? Just because Claudia was my marketing girl that time, not only Claudia's ideas will come in. I wanted different. Podcast idea was Amneet's idea. And I completely brush it off as this is bullshit. Nobody's going to listen to podcasts. What is podcast? I started it when nobody was doing it. 2020, I started my first. I was probably, at least I can say it very confidently that Indian community, I was the first person who started it as a podcast, as a realtor. And we were introducing each other, and I was making fun after this. It's like, it will be so embarrassing, like I'm interviewing you, Amneet, and you interviewing me. We are just the same group. People will feel out this is scripted. She said, no, will work out. And slowly started to work it out. Then we shared more ideas. My confidence also built when people said that we listen to your podcast, or we have watched your video, funny videos. That was my team's idea, to make funny videos.
And the bloopers and everything.
Yes. Even on the weekends, funny video, it was not my idea. It was their idea.
The one with your family. Or
exactly, family, or just to show real things. Like people just don't want you to be always dress up and just talking about business. They want to see who's real Jas is. And other things about like how you said it, your team connecting, how you find it out that from social media, right? So whatever we are at the back of the social media, we should have to put it there. Not all the audience will like it, but you don't need everybody to like you. You just need certain amount of people, because a person who's like-minded you will like you. And the people who are not like-minded you anyways won't able to do business with them, because it's difficult to do business with the people who are not like-minded, because they will think different, and it will be very difficult for you throughout the journey to explain them, to keep building the trust. You have to keep telling them, trust me. And I tell my clients that if you don't have a trust in me, there's no point of working. Whether you are a $500,000 client or you're a $5 million client, the trust has to be there. And Rag, I'm not saying, now I'm so blessed, and I'm saying this on camera, you can check with my team. My people I've worked in the past, they call me without even I'm looking at the properties I'm writing in offers. And I'm not talking like writing an offer for a condos. They are big properties, like 10 million property, $500,000 property, $9 million property. And they're saying, this is the property, Jas, I want you to write an offer. I don't even go to those properties. Recently, I sold one property. The client did the negotiation himself with the seller of the market, and he brought me in there to write an offer on it. And I got my full commission. And the guy came to my house to drop off the deposit. I asked him, okay, from where you want me to pick? Oh, he said, don't worry, I'm in the White Rock area. I will come later in the afternoon and drop it off to you. From where are you going to get those kind of people?
Wow.
That's why I said that no market can take me down. I have those people supporting me. They are the ones. I have built up relations with them because they are more. All my close friends at one point of time were my clients. I didn't have anybody from India back when I came to Canada, or these all people I have built up are one point of them were my clients, and how your clients can be a good friend. You know some of them.
Yeah, well, that's how we even met.
Yes,
Mutual friends.
Mutual friends, and they come across to me because of the real estate. Somehow I was connecting with the other people in the group. So that's what it is, because no deal is bigger than my reputation. I tell myself too, because it's very difficult to remind yourself. You want to learn something, is very difficult because we are in a business where there's so much money involved. And it's very easy to get carried away, become greedy, think about yourself before the client. Yes, I'm in this business to make money, but not taking money out of your pocket. I wanted to make money, what I feel like I earn it or I deserve it. Not I want to steal the money from you. I've not done that when I was nobody, and there's no point of not doing
Absolutely
it.
not.
Right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. No,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you, Jas. Honestly, like just
No.
so good to hear your story.
No,
Thank you for having us. And for everyone who's listening, I hope you pick up on a few things from Jas. Like just even outside of the respect, knowing his thing of having no regrets and going all in, and just the ability to, even when everyone says, "Oh, you can't do this," or "You're not right for it," or whatever, just the faith and the vision to follow through. And I think one of the biggest things we can pick from him is his relationships. Making sure you earn that trust and following through. And
No.
like a lot of things I'm always learning just being around you. Like there's an energy you have, that go-getterness, everything. And really appreciate you for the time.
Just ending upon the note, like when you say that you're always looking up to me, that also motivates me that I don't want to let you down. Because there are a lot of people out there who are looking up to me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do it not only for me, I wanted to do it for them also.
Absolutely.
That not to let them down, that my actions should not be. And end of the day, I'm a human. I may make mistakes, but I will apologize if I have done something wrong. And if somebody out there have unconsciously or consciously have said something to them over the phone, sometimes we are humans. We do mistakes, but I honestly apologize for anything whatever we have done. But
That's so humble of you. Yeah.
No.
No, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Raghav.
much. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care.